Okay, so now just want to set something straight because I know a lot of people who are not that technical may not understand uh, some basic things you need to know, or yeah, basic things, not necessary knowledge. It could be, yeah, but just know these are the basic things you should know when you want to buy a vehicle or you decide, okay, this is what you are going for. Fuel economy, power, performance, or just some may focus more on what do they call it, so-called reliability, blah blah blah. So, however, when it comes to fuel economy, you need to understand uh, you don't just buy a car because you are going for fuel economy and you now look for the one with the smallest engine or the one with the least power among that particular model of car. It may not really consume as low as you think compared to the ones with bigger ones. So because of that, I decided to do this video on 307cc. If you are buying a 307cc, which we are looking at right now on the picture, we are buying one with the TU5JP4, which is the 1.6 liter engine. Don't expect the car fuel consumption to be low or to be even lower than that of the bigger engine. You'll be surprised that the ones with bigger engines or bigger power will consume less than that TU5 or 1.6 liter engine. Here is why. This 307 you are looking at, let me show you guys. I think I'll send you this here. Well, this is more like a different color, but then it's the same thing. That's one I wanted to bring out, but this is what I could find. So, this thing you are looking at has more weight. As small as it is, it has more weight than Peugeot 406 Saloon with 3.0 liter V6 engine, both manual and automatic. This thing here has more weight than it. Now, I'm not saying just any Peugeot 307cc. I'm saying specifically the one with the smallest engine, which is the 1.6 liter engine, TU5JP4. This particular, okay, I don't know about diesel. There could be diesel model that maybe, I don't know if it's smaller. I think the smallest engine they all have, all 307 had was the 1.6, but I don't know about diesel in CC. But for petrol, they have TU5JP4, which is 1.6. So the 1.6, the 307cc with 1.6 liter weigh more than, it has more weight than the bigger 406 V6, not just the engine. I'm talking about even the body, everything. It has more weight than that of the 406 V6 with the massive 3.0 liter engine. It's not about power now, just the weight. Even the engine has more weight. So imagine the weight. This car with that engine weighs about 1,515 kg. Unlike the Peugeot 406 Saloon V6 weigh about 1,450 or 430 kg. So imagine how this engine with about 104 or 105 horsepower will be able to pull something that is heavier than even a Peugeot 406 V6. Not even the one with 1.8 or 2.0 liter in Peugeot 406. That Peugeot 406 with those two engine. So this one even has more weight than the one with a bigger engine in the Peugeot 406. So the reason why I'm bringing this up just for you to understand why this 307cc with that engine 25JP4 struggles to maintain or to achieve uh, good fuel economy. it will be very, very hard because of the weight of this car. So the engine struggles more. Very, very under. But this car is underpowered. In other Peugeot 307, like the version, like talking about the hatchback, the station wagon, it pulls them very okay. But on this one, no, it doesn't. So if you are buying Peugeot 307cc with that 1.6 liter T5 JP4 engine, don't expect the fuel consumption on a normal drive style, or if your driving style is just, city. Sometimes I like to, speed the car a little, push the car to accelerate hard. Don't expect the consumption to be lower than that of the same 307cc with 2.0 liter engine. No, those ones will consume less, because even though they even have more weight, however, the engine torque and the power they have will be able to draw the vehicle, at least, let me see, be able to pull it back a little. Um, I mean, looking at the tail here, there are so many things on the tail of this car which contribute to the weight the car has, you know. So it's a very heavy vehicle. But when you look at it, actually, it's a very attractive car. I like looking at the vehicle. It's quite attractive, but I don't like looking at it from the tail. I don't really like that tail that much, but every other part makes sense. So anyway, back to this is the interior. The interior, the dashboard is more like the every other 307, but then the seat, the other things are different, because this is more like a sport version of the 307. So the seats are more comfortable. In fact, I have not driven them on few occasions, and I mean, I enjoy. It's not just the space. Yeah, of course, it's more spacious, but man, the way the seats, they design the seat, you sit inward. It's not like the other 307 that when you sit in there, you look as if you're on SUV. But this one, you are sitting down. It kind of swallows you. So it makes sense. I like it, and of course, the instrument cluster is the sporty type. And I could see here, this one is a 6-speed manual. Okay, now let's go to how you can, the type of 307cc petrol one you can get without having that issue. Now, this is the engine I was talking about. So, if you don't mind the car moving, not sluggishly, no. Moving or taking off on its own without you trying to push it hard. In fact, in other words, if you are the patient type, if you know you are that patient type, that you wouldn't mind to take your eyes off other cars passing you, just swallow whatever you have to swallow to look your front, let them pass and go where, So then you can go for this one. And then when you do, don't press the throttle very hard. Don't push it down all the time. Just press it a little, let it just gradually take off and start moving as you select the gear. And I think it comes only in manual on the CC. Not, I don't think you get automatic. Maybe they have, but I don't really see the reason why they will put automatic, because even the engine is underpowered on the vehicle. So automatic will even suck more power from the little power the engine possesses. So I wonder what will eventually go to the wheel if they put the automatic. So manual make more sense. Uh, so so this engine. So personally, I would advise you stay away from Peugeot 307cc that has this engine. It doesn't mean it's a bad engine. It just is a wrong engine in this vehicle. For other 307 is a right engine, but on the CC, no, it's wrong. So that's about it. It's durable, it's good, but it's just you gotta see. I know two people that have used this. We were actually having a discussion, about three of us or so on Project 307CC, and two people mentioned they own this CC 307 with this engine, and the experience, their general ownership experience they were not satisfied. They were not satisfied at all. It was just more like grumbling. One of them said they actually bought it because he was expecting uh, lower fuel consumption than the other ones with bigger engine. And to his disappointment, the reverse was the case. So I advise you don't. You know, there are times you have to consider the weight when it comes to fuel economy. Consider the weight of what the engine is pulling there, the power of the engine. If the power of the engine is too low to be able to pull the weight attached on it effortlessly, then it's going to consume more fuel. You are not going to gain that economy. It's as simple as that. So now, which engine will I recommend for the 307cc? See going here and on. Okay, now this one. Now this is uh, the sporty engine meant for Peugeot 307cc, or the sportiest. Let me just use the word the sportiest of all of them. So this is EW10J4S. Is a 2.0 liter engine petrol. So this one only comes in manual, and it shares some parts with EW12J4. So it's very good, and well, he have his own ups and downs, but like I said, when you are talking about sporty, you want the one that takes off and moves like EW12, or even has more power than EW12J4. That's the 2.2 injection engine you find in Peugeot vehicles produced from 2001 to think about 2007 or thereabout. Yeah, this one will serve you like that. Though the EW12 has more torque, so but this one has more HP. So notwithstanding, so this is one of the engines I would recommend you go for the heavy 307cc. This one has more weight than even the one with the 1.6 liter, but like I said, the engine is designed for performance and the fuel consumption is not bad. So, which other one? Petrol engine that you can go for? Alright, this one. Now, this EW10J for 2.0 liter engine, which is also good. It has about 138 PS. So, and the torque is about 190, right? About 190 Newton torque. So, this one is good. It's a very common and popular engine. You find in a lot of Peugeot and Citroen vehicle produced from 2000 to about 2000, more like from 1999 to 2006. I think early 2006 or thereabout. That was when the last time Peugeot stopped using it. Yeah. You could say, okay, let's just say 2005. Let's just leave it at 2005. As from 2005, I don't think the Peugeot continue to use this engine. So what this means is if you are going for phase one 307cc, that's where you can only get this particular engine with the other one, the one of EW10J4S, but this one is EW10J4. So you can get those two 2.0 liter engine in phase one. So this one is good, and you can enjoy. I think this one you can also get either automatic or manual. It has an automatic option, I believe so. not just manual. So which other one engine you can get a 307cc? This one. So this is also a 2.0 liter petrol engine, and is a revised EW 10J4. If you ask me, they're completely different. In fact, they are just different engines. So it looks, you could say it's an improvement, even though some may disagree, but there are a lot of improvements compared to that EW10G4, both the power, efficiency, and the rest. Well, both of them, they all have their ups and downs. So I wouldn't say. All I could say is there are places where this one outshines the other, and also places where the older model outshine this one. So it all depends what you are looking for. But if you're into performance, for economy, this and that, this one will serve you better. That is when I mean for economy, I'm talking about the one that consume the least. I'm not saying just because another engine consume more doesn't mean it's not for economical. It's like somebody saying, oh, Peugeot 406 uh, it's not for economical because it consumes more than the one in 406 with EW10G4. You could say it's subjective because if spending 10 liters, let's assume spending 10 liters to cover 100 kilometers is too much for you, that you prefer one that will take only 8 liters to cover same mileage. Well, that is to you, but somebody else might decide, okay, additional 2 liters. To him, it doesn't make any sense. To him, it's fuel economical because he can afford that additional 2 liters without even feeling a pinch. So, to him, the car is more economical in terms of fuel. So, that's why when people say this one is a fuel guzzler, okay, I will be wondering, is it because you can't afford it? Is that why you're saying fuel guzzler? So all these things people say. Anyway, it's all about. So anyway, this one, yeah, is good. You can get it in 307cc, and it also has auto and manual options. You can get it either in automatic or manual. So the fuel consumption is also good if you're after fuel economy and some stuff. So these are the engines, petrol engines. I don't know much about their diesel engines, or 307cc with diesel engines. So the petrol ones I know. So if you can go for any of these three petrol or 2.0 petrol engines in 307cc, yes, you will enjoy the experience of owning one, or having one. You will enjoy it rather than buying the one. Yes, it's not giving you any problem or anything, but man, you drive it on the road, you realize all the time your throttle is almost on the pedal. The throttle pedal. I mean, the throttle pedal is almost on the floor. Every time you are moving, even when you are driving in the street, even just to move the car, you have to press it to the floor. And the more the throttle pedal goes down, the higher the fuel consumption. So you see where I'm going. It's doing that not because the engine is underpowered. No, it's not. But in that vehicle, it is. Because of remember, the weight it has to carry compared to other vehicles or model of project cars that have same engine with much less weight. So it struggles more to pull it. It's as if if I don't even know why they put that engine in the CC. The car has a lot of. Imagine a car that has more weight than 406 V6. And you're expecting that smaller power 105 to be able to pull. It's like, see, the 307, but the 307 CC with the 1.5. Let me go back to that engine so that you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, this one. So the Peugeot 307cc with this engine It's almost the same weight. It has the same weight with Peugeot 407, I think with a 2.0 liter engine or thereabout. You know, Peugeot 407 has more weight than almost most of the Peugeot cars produced during that time. You know, it's a very heavy vehicle. So it's as if you just take this car, you test this engine and put it in Peugeot 407, as heavy as it is, and expect the 407 to pull, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It was, to me, it's a wrong engine in the 307cc. They shouldn't have put it. However, they did it because some people are not interested in quick acceleration, or, you know, probably they don't care whether it is quick. They just want something smaller. They believe, oh, if it's not small, they will go for another brand. They want something smaller just to satisfy that fear belief system that the bigger engine consume more fuel. So they had to do this. Other than that, I don't see why this should be in such a heavy vehicle. So the reason why I decided to do this video, because two guys that bought this 307cc with this small engine, we are complaining. Like I said, they were complaining that the experience were nothing to write home about, or wasn't positive. Not because the car was breaking down, no, but because it was just very annoying that they can't do without pressing the throttle pedal to the floor, to the car to even make any serious or reasonable speed. Even when it's not like they want to go on high speed, no. Just to make some move, they have to keep pressing. The engine will keep shouting. Yeah, the car is not moving. The movement is not even commensurate to the shouting of the engine. So they felt sad, according to them, until they got rid of them. So avoid them. Okay, so I hope the vehicle, um, I hope this video makes sense to you guys, so I don't make the wrong choice and then regret later.